So what we're going to try and do this lesson is to have our first function available in Firebase that can pretty much just say whenever we're uploading a file to anywhere in the storage, it's going to tell us that we just uploaded a file. That's all I want to do. So when I click upload file on Firebase, I pick a file and I say upload. It's going to be shown right here, and then we're going to listen in the functions with a method right here that says, ta-da, you just uploaded a file, and just prints out the actual event for the file upload. Let's try and do this. Now jumping back to our code right here, it's pretty simple. We have the index file available right here on the functions folder. Now what we want to do is we want to say we're going to export right here. We want to export the first function. And let's just call the first function uploading file to storage. Upload it, because that's something I did when this is actually going to be triggered. Now the way we do this is pretty much just add a functions right here. This is the guy up here that we import, the Firebase functions, which is pretty much the access point to the function setup inside Firebase, right? So we're going to say the functions, they have access to the storage, right? That's what we want to listen. We want to listen in the storage. There's also a database, there's also Firestore, right? So let's just have a look here. You can also say Firestore, but now I want to work with the storage for now, so I want to listen for changes in the storage. Now when a change happens, you can use bucket or object. Let's just use the object for now. I'll get back to the bucket later. And with this object I can say unfinalized, meaning that when I'm actually done uploading something, it's final and we can do something, right? So what we want to do here is we want to say when this happens, we want to return an event, and we're just going to print that event down here. So I'll just do a console log and just print the event for now, just to show you guys what this actually provides for us. Console log and events. There we go. Now let's actually also write something. Something was uploaded like this, and then just print the event. There we go. Now this is actually, look how simple this actually is. It's pretty much just saying that as soon as I do an upload now to the storage on Firebase, I'm going to print this to the console. Okay, so now we have the basics up and running for actually trying to listen for a change on storage, but how do we get this to Firebase? That's also pretty simple actually. All we want to do is pretty much just say Firebase, we want to deploy something to Firebase, right? But we only want to deploy functions. So we'll say only deploy functions, right? There we go. Now this should be enough. Now I'm going to deploy the functions folder to Firebase, and hopefully when that is done, we can actually start working with, this will actually start triggering every time we upload a file. This event will be triggered right here. Now right now we're just printing, but we could do anything, right? We could do anything in here, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try and see with this event if we can somehow figure out how we can create the folder and the files. Now it might be a bit of a hassle, but we'll try and figure out what we can actually do with this. Maybe it won't work, maybe it will. At least we will. I'll show you guys how functions work. So let's try and see what happens. It seems that it's starting to upload the actual file to Firebase, and it seems now that it actually added this new function to my functions folder in Firebase. So let's try and have a look at what that actually looks like. Right now the functions here is empty for me, but when I refresh the page, you'll see that we actually have our first function available now that will start working and listening, called upload file to storage. So it's just a name, right? It's just a name, upload file to storage. You'll see it's exactly the same name like we have right here. That's the function name. Sweet. So now I can go and I can actually start looking at the log for this function by clicking right here and say view logs. Let's see if there's any information in here. Now there are no logs information right now, but if I go into, this is old log information, that's not for the function specifically. So this is all the information for my system because I've tried this before. But let's try and jump into the storage now, and let's actually try and go in and upload a file to the root right here. I'll just pick a file and say upload. Now what should happen is when the upload is done, it should actually trigger inside the function system right here, and it should show that I just uploaded that specific file. Let's try and jump into our logs again, and let's see if we actually get the information. Right here it says something was uploaded, right? That's kind of what we wrote in the code here, something was uploaded, and then it triggers the actual event, and you can see it uploaded. I have a lot of information here, right? But I can see the name of the file I uploaded, download, JPEG. I can see the type of the file. I can see the ID of the file. Where did I actually put it? I can see, well, I have plenty of information here for now. to actually start working with the file and trying to save this metadata for the file inside the Firebase storage, right? Sweet. Let's just try and do one more thing, because what happens if I upload the storage, the file inside a child folder? Will it still actually show it? Let me just try and delete this guy, get it out of the way. There we go. But what if I go into albums files and I go into this folder maybe and I try to upload the file here? Will it still trigger? I hope it will, but let's see what happens. Going to open this guy, he'll be uploaded. Again, hopefully it'll trigger my function on the backend. I hope that makes sense now. The function is just a way for us to trigger when events happen on the backend, right? And we can do crazy things on the backend now. We don't have to let all the work be done on the front end. We can hopefully make events trigger things on the backend as well. So it seems that we have it again. Something was uploaded once more. This time it's actually uploaded, and I'll just zoom a bit here. I can actually see that it was uploaded into album files, the unique identifier, and then the downloaded JPEG right here. So I have the information about where it was uploaded as well. We need those pieces of information to kind of start saving this inside our file storage. So that's kind of what we want to start working with. So that's it for this lesson. See you next time. Have fun. Now you've just uploaded your first function to Firebase. Good job.